Hi, welcome back. In our last conversation of the month, we talked about thinking outside the box when making important decisions. Access your market, be creative on your decisions, and stand out in the crowd. So stick around. And to start with our thinking outside the box, we actually need to access the market. It is true that we need to think outside the box. We need to go out of the conventional. However, we won't be able to do so if we are not rational and if we not analyze things and the right choices for us and for our business. For example, if you are in the process of developing an idea, or if you had an idea for your business, for extending your business or a partnership or something else, it is good, or at least it's what I always do, is that you develop the project for that particular idea. You develop that idea, you set it up in paper, you have what the idea is, what your goals are, what you intend to achieve, and you study what exactly what you intend with that particular idea. Let's imagine a partnership. What do you intend with it? What would that particular partner would bring? What would you bring as well to the table? Because when you talk about a partnership, we should always consider things in both sides, because obviously we might be very eager to go for a partnership, but if we don't bring anything to the table, and if actually our project won't benefit the other party in any shape or form, chances are they are not willing to do any partnership with us. So it is important that we analyze both sides of this idea, and then we do a market research. We search the market, we see if there's the need for that particular product or for whatever we are thinking, if people are receptive to that sort of idea that we had, what are the costs involved with that project, and the returns, so what it will bring us in terms of revenue for our business. And then we are able to choose the right product for us. Sometimes that initial idea that we had may need to be adapted, and there might be some additional things that we need to add or some things that we need to take away, because the initial idea we had may not be the best for us. And that's what the market research will bring us. Will bring us a crystal clear view, or at least a much better view of how it would work or not, and help us make slight modifications if needed, so we get the best result in the end. So, for example, we may think about a certain partnership that we were interested in because it would give us, let's say, a lot of exposure, or it would bring us the opportunity of doing business with that particular partner and promote their products as well as our products being promoted by them, let's say. But then when you do your market study, you come to the conclusion that that particular partnership wouldn't be available for you for a certain reason. However, you may find that there might be a slightly different model that may work for you, and then we need to change our views, and we need to change our initial project in order to accommodate these things that we actually came across with, and we actually realized, well, it's not possible the way I was initially thinking of, but I can do it this way. So we do the necessary changes in order for it to work. And then in the end, we choose the right product and we have the best result. Another very important part of this is being creative. Without creativity, you never achieve anything, because if we are all going to do the same thing, then it's basically a very boring and monotonous way of doing business. So we need to be creative. We need to think ways of getting ahead and doing things better, and doing things that go straight to what our possible clients need and to what the market is asking for. Basically, that's what it is. We need to go and search for ways of being there, doing or offering exactly what the market is asking for, in a very creative, in a way that is going to be appealing to the clients, and it's going to tell them, this is the right person, this is the right company, I am going to go with them. That is the, in my view, the main thing about being a business person, is that you always have to be creative. You always have to think outside the box, because thinking outside the box means that you need to see what's out there, see what the market needs, and then be creative enough to find your own way up there, but in a way that you have to stand out in the crowd, because that's very important. Because if you have, and for example, us as translators, there's thousands of colleagues that actually offer the same services. So if we don't stand out if we don't stand out in the crowd, what makes the difference between us and our colleagues, for example? So we need, it's either via education, a good specialization, things like that, that make us experts in a different field, or in a different product. I'm thinking companies in a different product, or in a particular field, and that make our clients see, oh, well, this person is special, this person is different, they offer us some extra services, or they offer us some extra value. Value is very important, and obviously when we look for a service or a product, we all want value. But of course, we need to also value our own time and our own work, and value the work of others as well, because this is a two-way street. A good business person is a person that knows the value of things, and knows the value of their time, their clients' time, and everyone's time, and everyone's work per se. So we all know each other, we all know what we worth, and we all know what we need. And that's very important for any business person, in my view. And after knowing all of this, you just need to be creative. You need to think, you need to have ideas, you need to come up with either a very interesting marketing campaign, or maybe you have a different product that you are able to offer that is gonna be the difference in the market and is gonna make you millions. Or maybe it's just the way that you do business, it's your customer service skills or the services you provide. The fact is, you need to know your strengths. If you know your strengths, if you know where you're very good at, then that's your difference. Then that's your specialization per se. It's where you are good at, is what you are most experienced at, and then you work around that. Okay, this is my strength. This is what I do very good. All right, so let's work around this. Let's do a very good marketing campaign. Let's showcase what I can do. And with that creativity, you will be able to attract more clients and make them see that you are different from them. It might be a marketing campaign, maybe a different product, maybe a very, very, very well done website. It doesn't matter. Every person or every business is different. Sometimes it all depends on the industry that you are in. with the current situation, businesses face very challenging times, and that's what we all need, to be creative. I see, for example, the hospitality industry. You see coffee shops and restaurants that never used to do takeaway or deliveries. Now they're doing takeaway and they're doing deliveries. This is being creative. This is thinking outside the box. Okay, we never used to do this, but now we are faced with a pandemic. We cannot do anything else. We cannot have our restaurants open. People cannot come in. There's limits on the people that we are allowed to have dining in. So let's think outside the box. Let's do something different. Others come up with more studies, and they, for example, in the services area, and they can provide other services. It all depends on your particular circumstances and what you can offer and what your market is asking for. Of course, if you are thinking of something that the market is saturated with, it won't work, and in the end, it's not going to be a good result for you. So you need to know exactly what the market needs, and then you need to be creative to present it to them in a different way, so they look at you and they don't look at the one next door. The result of being creative is standing out in the crowd. So if you are creative, if you have a very good product or service to offer your clients, you stand out in the crowd. You are different. You present it in a different way, and your clients are going to look at you as the best fit for what they need, and they're going to look at you, and you're going to be the one that when they look at a crowd of people offering them similar services or products, they're going to look at you because you are right there, and they're going to say, oh, this is the right choice for me. And for that, that's what you need. You need to know exactly your market. You need to know what you're doing and what you want to achieve. And then you need to think outside the box. Risk a little. I know that sounds a little bit funny for me to say that, but it is crucial that sometimes to think outside the box, and when I say sometimes, I should say all the time. We should, to think outside the box, we should risk a little. Yes, risk is risk. It might go wrong, but chances are it may go perfectly right, and you may end up with a lot of success for yourself and your company, and of course success will translate in revenue. So you need to be creative. You need to think outside the box. If you need to go a little riskier and do something a little bit odd and a little bit bold, that's what you need, because that will ultimately showcase your capabilities as a business person and as a professional, and people will see that and will recognize that as a massive skill to have, as a good way of doing business, and they will recognize you for that. I think it's a very important part of being a business person, is thinking outside the box and standing out in the crowd, because that's what makes us a little different. We need to showcase what we do, we need to showcase what we're worth, and our clients need to know we are there. And for that, we need to show them what we've got. And to that, we just putting an ad, all ads in the newspaper don't work for us anymore, because people don't look there. So a great website, a good marketing campaign, of course, depending on the sector, and social media. I believe social media these days is a very important part of standing out in the crowd, because it just make you reach a huge amount of people in a very short amount of time. Of course, it must be done in a tasteful and intelligent way to reach the right people. Because if you reach 1,000 people, but of that 1,000 you're only going to have 1 or 2 clients, that's not a very effective way of doing it. And obviously that's not a way of standing out in the crowd. But if you do it in a creative and efficient way, of that one, and if from that 100 you have 60 or 70 clients, that will be a great achievement for you. So this is what I mean with standing out in the crowd. It means thinking outside the box. It means doing things differently. If your colleagues do A, you just go ahead and do B. Because we live in a world that everyone follows everyone else. And that's not anything wrong with that most of the times. But in terms of marketing, in terms of, for example, in terms of promoting a company, promoting a service, if everyone is doing exactly the same thing, then it's not standing out of the crowd, and then it's not being different and not showcasing what goodness could they bring to their clients and the best way they could help their clients. So if you follow everyone else, if everyone else is saying, I am a translator, and you just go ahead and say, I am a translator, well, at the end of the day, when your colleagues, when your clients are looking for translators, they see you and another 1,000 colleagues that also put, I am a translator. But if you put something different, if you spice up a little bit your wording and the way you present yourself and you present what you do, your possible clients, yes, you need to put the keywords. I said that when I was talking about SEO. You need to put the keywords, because that's very important. But you also need to be creative and insert those keywords in a very creative way, so your possible clients find you and they also find, oh, this is refreshing, this is different, and then they will read whatever you have to tell them about you, or even if you want to use video, and they say, oh, this is very different, this person really seems to be the best fit for what I need. And this is what I mean by thinking outside the box, and this is what I mean by standing out in the crowd. I hope you are doing that. And that's all for today in our last conversation for September, the last one about money and investment. I hope this series has helped you facing your fears, or perhaps making a good decision in regards to investments or any other decisions. But if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please feel free to leave your comments and share with your friends. Why not? Let's make these conversations even bigger, and subscribe the channel so you get a notification of a new conversation every week. I would like to thank you for being there and to being with us today. And see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.